Have you ever been on a quiet lake at night and heard a sound that sent a shiver down your spine? A sound that feels both lonely and terrifying. So strange, mournful, and unearthly it seems like it was pulled from a horror movie. That is the sound of the Common Loon. And while they're a beautiful symbol of the wilderness, their famous calls are a complex language hiding some surprisingly dark secrets. For centuries, the calls of the Common Loon have both enchanted and terrified people. Their distinct, haunting quality has become a symbol of wild, untouched nature. But these aren't just random noises echoing across the water. They're a complex language. It's a language of family and location, but also one of panic, aggression, and pure, primal fear. Today, we're not just listening. We're decoding the 5 creepiest calls in the loon's vocabulary. We'll explore the chilling science behind why these iconic birds can sound so terrifying. You'll learn that nature has its own horror soundtrack, and the loon is its lead vocalist. These are the sounds that, once you understand them, become infinitely more unsettling. Coming in at number 5 is the call that most defines the loon. The one often used in movies to signal that something dreadful is about to happen. The wail. It's a sound that seems to carry the very essence of loneliness as it travels long distances over water. It's a long, often mournful cry that rises and falls, a ghostly conversation in the dead of night. But this isn't necessarily a cry of sadness. It's a contact call. The wail is the loon's way of asking, "I'm here. Where are you?" It's most often used between mated pairs or family members who have become separated on a large lake. One loon will send out a wail, and somewhere across the dark expanse of water, its partner might wail in return, helping them find each other when they're out of sight. But this isn't necessarily a cry of sadness. It's a contact call. The wail is the loon's way of asking, "I'm here. Where are you?" It's most often used between mated pairs or family members who have become separated on a large lake. One loon will send out a wail, and somewhere across the dark expanse of water, its partner might wail in return, helping them find each other when they're out of sight. So, what makes it so creepy? It's the context. Imagine being completely alone, the water like black glass, and then hearing that single, solitary cry. It speaks to a primal part of us that understands isolation. But the wail can also signal distress. During periods of high stress, like when a predator such as an eagle is circling or a nest is threatened, the wail can become more frantic and shift from a 1 or 2 note call to a more urgent 3-note cry. When you hear that change, you're not just hearing a bird trying to find its mate. You're hearing the sound of rising dread. Next up at number 4, we have the sound that gives the loon its reputation for being, well, loony. It's called the tremolo, but it's more famously known as the insane laugh. It is a rapid, wavering, and almost hysterical sounding call that can be deeply unsettling when it cuts through the silence. But this is no laughing matter. The tremolo is a sound of agitation and alarm. A loon makes this call when it feels threatened. This is the sound it makes when a boat gets too close, a predator is spotted, or another loon intrudes on its territory. It's the loon's panic button, and the more stressed the bird is, the more frantic the tremolo becomes. This is also the only call the loon makes while in flight. Hearing that cackling, frantic laugh from above as a loon flies over a rival's territory is an eerie experience. It's a provocative act. The flying loon is essentially announcing its presence with the most disruptive sound it can make, often trying to bait the territorial male below into revealing himself with a yodel. The creepiness of the tremolo lies in this deception. It sounds like laughter, but its function is the exact opposite. It's the sound of fear, a warning that you are too close, and a signal that things are about to escalate. Coming in at number 3 is a call you may have never even heard. It's quieter, more subtle, and in many ways, that's what makes it so unnerving. This is the hoot. Unlike the far-carrying wails and tremolos, The hoot is a soft, short, one-note call used for close-range communication. Think of it as a whisper. This is the intimate language of a loon family. Parents hoot to their chicks, and mated pairs hoot to each other to stay in contact. It's a gentle, personal sound meant only for members of their small family unit. So, if it's so quiet and gentle, why is it on a list of creepy calls? Because overhearing a whisper is sometimes more unsettling than hearing a scream. When you're out on a lake and you hear this soft, single-note call nearby, it often means the loons don't know you're there. You are an unseen observer, eavesdropping on a private conversation. There's a feeling of intrusion that comes with hearing the hoot. It's the auditory equivalent of realizing you're not alone in a quiet room. That soft, close-range call hanging in the air is a reminder of how much life happens just out of sight. It's a delicate sound, but in the vast, dark quiet of a northern night, that gentle hoot can feel like a ghost in the machine, a sound not meant for your ears, which makes it profoundly eerie. At number 2, we have a call that is pure, unfiltered aggression. This is the yodel, and it is the only call made exclusively by the male loon. If the wail is a question and the tremolo is an alarm, the yodel is a declaration of war. It's a loud, complex, and rising territorial call used to defend his territory, his mate, and his chicks from intruders. When a male loon yodels, he means business. He will often stretch his neck out low and parallel to the water's surface to project the sound as far as possible. In a direct confrontation, he may rise up out of the water in a display of pure intimidation. The sound itself is a staggering piece of acoustic weaponry that starts with a few rising notes before exploding into repeated phrases that echo with menace. What makes the yodel truly chilling is that it's designed to prevent a physical fight, but it's also a promise of violence if the warning isn't heeded. While not common, these fights can be brutal and sometimes fatal. Each male has his own unique signature yodel. It's his vocal fingerprint, and it communicates a startling amount of information to rivals. The pitch can indicate the male's size. Larger birds tend to have lower-pitched yodels, and the call also signals his physical condition and how willing he is to fight. Even more bizarre, research shows that if a male is defeated and forced to move to a new territory, he may change his yodel. He alters his signature call to be different from the previous resident of his new lake, essentially announcing to the world, "There's a new loon on the block." And now, for the number 1 creepiest loon sound. It isn't a single call, but a terrifying combination of them. It's often called the night chorus. This is what happens when an entire lake erupts into a symphony of chaos. The night chorus is a complex social interaction, often involving multiple pairs of loons across a lake, sometimes even calling to loons on adjacent lakes. It's a cascade of sound that usually happens after sunset or in the dead of night. It often begins with the lonely, haunting wails we discussed earlier. But then, one wail is answered by another, and another, until the air is thick with them. What makes the yodel truly chilling is that it's designed to prevent a physical fight, but it's also a promise of violence if the warning isn't heeded. While not common, these fights can be brutal and sometimes fatal. Suddenly, a frantic tremolo cuts through the mournful wails. This signifies that the situation has escalated. The birds are agitated, perhaps by an intruder or a predator. The dueling wails and panicked laughter create a disorienting and deeply unsettling soundscape, a choir of birds all screaming into the void at once. This is the sound that truly captures the alien, otherworldly nature of the loon. Hearing the night chorus is like stumbling upon some ancient, frantic ritual you were never meant to witness. The distinct calls, each with its own specific meaning, bleed into one another, creating a wall of sound that is both beautiful and absolutely terrifying. From the lonely wail to the aggressive yodel, and from the intimate hoot to the chaotic night chorus, the language of the loon is far more complex and chilling than most of us could ever imagine. These aren't just beautiful sounds, they are messages of location, warnings of danger, and declarations of dominance. They prove that these elegant birds live lives filled with drama, fear, and aggression. Their calls are a direct line into the raw, untamed heart of the wilderness, a wilderness that is beautiful, but also brutal. The next time you're near a northern lake at dusk, listen closely. You might just hear one of these calls echoing across the water. Have you ever heard one of these sounds at night? What did it feel like? Share your story in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this look into the dark side of nature, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations of the most fascinating sounds on Earth.